we didn't even get into Closer. I feel like we have to talk about it for a second. I mean, is that Apex? Like, well, we don't want to call it Apex, but like, what did it feel like for that whole thing to go down? What did that feel like for you guys?
Really bizarre. We have just the weirdest career. Every song is like almost never happened. Closer, I wrote. It was the first song that I really like wrote like all the lyrics to. In the past, we'd work with writers or we were just producing the records, and then we'd work with someone like Emily Warren, who we work with all the time, as one of our best friends, and they would do lyrics. And this is the first time I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna try it. So I wrote this song, and I kind of like wrote the words down earlier on waiting to take off on some plane, and the basis of it. And then I made the beat with do you know Louis the Child?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so Freddie, they're amazingly talented and just great. They make awesome music, and they were on tour with us, and me and Freddie just got pretty drunk after one show, and we made the beat to Closer, and I just had this feeling about it.
Sean was there too, right?
And the next morning, the next day, Sean Frank, shout out to Sean, was like, yo, what are you working on? And I showed him the song, and we like wrote, finished up the song, wrote the lyrics together, and then Sean was like, I was like, who's gonna sing this? And then he's like, why don't you just sing it? Like, you just, you just sing it just the way that you just like talked it out and wrote it. And I was like, I've never sang on anything ever before. And he's like, let me show you how auto-tune works. And I was like, okay, and Melodyne. And, a lot of that song too is me just talking to you like in this voice. Yeah. It's not like really that singy. And, we put it together, and still with the intention of having someone else be featured on it or sing my part. And then we just kept playing it for our friends, and we're like, this is so catchy. Is good, yeah. Like, and this is such an interesting, like, the lyrics are so weird, and like definitely nothing that was happening in dance music. Yep. They felt like kind of indie and like really like small, like about small details and like very, Americana feeling. And we eventually, like, I got the confidence to just leave myself on the song. And then at that time, Don't Let Me Down was like firing. And so, we were getting, instead of like begging people to doing features, people were more open to doing songs with us. And we were like, well,
we're back to begging again.
Yeah, now we're back to begging. And Camila had just left Fifth Harmony and wanted to do a record, and so we brought the record to her, and she liked it, and was going to be the feature on Closer.
She was breaking off. This was like gonna be her first,
like
single
solo
outside the group.
And then and we love Camila, shout out to her, but obviously that didn't end up working out. We also knew, like, we performed it at Coachella in 2015 or 16?
16, I think, yeah.
We played at Coachella and we performed it, and Camila was still on the song, but she like wasn't around to like come out and do the feature with us, and so we just did like my parts of the song.
That is a bad explanation of that part of the story. She was like, I will come out and sing the song with you at Coachella.
You guys should fight right now.
I don't care. She needs to. This is a messed up thing for her to do.
Here we go.
I'm totally fine airing this out. And she just never came. And I think, and in her defense, though, I think she was hanging with Taylor Swift, which is a pretty cool thing to be doing. Yeah. But anyways, we were just like, all right, well, we'll just do the half of the song that Drew sings on, and
we did it. And the next day, I've never had a reaction to anything except for maybe buying a Bored Ape. All of her Twitter was just like, what the fuck is this song? When is this coming out? Tons of like video reposts, and we're like, yo, I don't know what's about to happen with the song, but it's gonna be something different than we've ever seen before. And it came out and just and then Camila ended up pulling up the song. Like literally, we were ready to put it out. We'd already, like, our fans already knew about it. We knew it was going to be heater, and she just decided it wasn't right for her. And then Halsey like stepped up and was like, I would have never. I was such a big fan of her music at the time, and that was just ended up being. I couldn't believe that, like, how it all came together like last minute.
Perfect.
And yeah, it was just the fit, and we were both kind of at the same place in our career at that time, and just to have that song together then was, I think, really. Just it happens like once in a lifetime if you're lucky, That
whole process was bizarre because then the song, it was ended up being this amazing song, but I don't think we were like ready at all, just personally, for like what that meant. Just in the macro sense of like
we're never ready.
Yeah, you're never ready. It's like thrust into like that sort of spotlight and the way you give interviews and this. And I think we like also at the time kind of had a chip on our shoulder from like the selfie days. But we were just kind of like fucking told y'all, but that was not the attitude we should have taken. You know? And we were always like cool guys, but it always felt like we believed in ourselves, but no one else did. And so instead of just being like humble in that moment, we weren't like not humble, but we were just, I think when we talked about it, we were always like,
it didn't,
you know what I mean? We didn't communicate ourselves properly.
We were like angry.
Yeah.
I was like mad.
I get that feeling of being discounted out and then proving everyone wrong. You're like, yeah, motherfucker. Like I knew the whole time,
But I think that,
but now you're old enough to not be
like,
that way.
Yeah, who cares?
Like,
But I think also like, I mean, while I'm not like proud of everything that happened over the course of that time, like I think I love that mentality. I still feel like we have the underdog. I still don't feel like we've accomplished anything.
Sure,
I still feel like
the only difference is when you do it, just humble yourself.
Totally.
Cool. We're still grateful.
How is it possible that you could even say that?
I don't know.
How could you even say that with a straight face? And like, bro, that song is one of the biggest songs ever.
But I feel like
bro.
I just feel like there's so many things that we would do differently in that event. You know, if we could go back and I mean, everything's working out the way it's supposed to be, but you're just kind of like, damn, I wish I would have handled that better, or you know, acted more this way, or you know, whatever.
Point me out to a celebrity or artist that goes globally into superstardom out of nowhere and handles it perfectly.
Frank Ocean.